Zanzibar. I was in Zanzibar. This is another interesting example. Okay, Zanzibar. I happened to see fishermen almost representing our fishermen. He suggested that they are all my relatives. There's a theory that we all came from Africa, no? There may be some truth in that. I was pleasantly surprised. There was no katamaran, but they were using the small boats. Out of emotional commotion, blood is always thicker than water. I belong to fisherman community. So I asked someone to translate the local language. Then I wanted to do something for them. In the Zanzibar, what these guys were doing, the high waves bring the seeds, seaweed, seaweed. Zanzibar seaweed is the best in the world, best in the world. Seaweed is brought by the highways every day, and in the evening, in the morning, they collect a lot of seaweed, and then it recedes. They have to just go and collect it and give it to the Chinese agents. I saw them they don't do any value addition. They don't even wash, remove the sand using the sea water, which is readily available. Just collecting it. What happens? World market price is $130 per ton. And the Chinese agents were giving only $20. I thought it's open robbery without violence. It cannot be done. So we made an intervention, enabled the farmers to add value, and enabled them to get $130 per the impact and compact. Their children are going to universities in the mainland. They are all doing medicine, engineering. See the impact of enhanced income. That came only from value addition. So prosperity is again a function of value addition that comes from policy intervention. This is very important. So that's why Africans are now a leader in Africa, the president, that is Ibrahim Toure, you must have heard of Burkina Faso. One guy actually made an coup attempt and removed the democratically elected president who was corrupt. And then that guy was also equally corrupt. Once he tasted the power, he was also equally corrupt. Then this guy took over. The whole world is saluting him. I'm sure very often he comes on the YouTube, Ibrahim Toure. You know what he said? He asked all the transnational corporations to leave. We are not going to allow you to process our primary product. They have diamond, they have gold, they have silver. And he created very strong infrastructural base. Within 1 year he created that. And already he lifted everybody from poverty trap. It's not a story, it's not a fiction. What is happening in Burkina Faso, you can key into YouTube and write Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Toure. You will see so many video clippings explaining the great thing he is doing. And doing everything with utmost sincerity. He is doing what Professor Paul Collier of Oxford University said. That guy, in his book Bottom Billion, he said, Africa is underdeveloped. There is always further development of underdevelopment. This is what he said. It's all due to lack of governance, corruption, democratically elected corrupt people. They are ruining, looting everything, and they all power and can buy villas in Geneva or France, everywhere. Everybody knows that. So in that book, he said he would prefer a good dictator who ensures good governance, doing everything with a high degree of transparency and accountability, and making an indelible impact on the welfare of people, to democratically elected corrupt leaders. And this is what is being demonstrated by him. Within 2 years, he transformed the society like anything, and he is using the local. He already started adding value to everything, all the resources they have. They have huge deposit of diamond, gold, everything. He is using everything for development. Already there is a rapid economic transformation that is happening. These are all examples. So when you talk about community and development, I come back to the topic. Development means you have to come out with the right policies to make right interventions, to make optimal use of the resources, and eventually it's to have an impact on the people. We are not able to do it. I don't say we mean not in general. Many countries are not able to do it because of rampant corruption. In some countries, corruption is under the table. In some countries, it is over the table. In some countries, table itself is corrupt. The table is corrupt. You go and stand near an office, I will not name the person. For a small certificate, immediately he keeps the drawer open. The implication is you put somebody into that. Otherwise, that's why I say the table is corrupt. You were our friend you are in Nigeria. I had been in Nigeria several times, 17 times I would say. You are in Lagos or Abuja? Which is relatively better. Lagos, you know, the previous capital of Lagos, it's hell. International reputation is upon landing you get killed. You know that you cannot. I was in Lagos several times, but I enjoyed it. I knew how to do that. Terrible country, highest rate of crime. You know what is happening there? And there is a very interesting story I used to narrate. In hell and heaven, now everything is computerized. You could make universal call. One day, someone from Lagos, the previous capital of Nigeria, went and told a great Satan in hell. He wanted to talk with, first the American asked the great Satan to permit him to make a call to somebody in America. He just spoke only 1 minute with his relative, put the receiver down. For 1 minute, great Satan charged $6. Then someone from UK, he wanted to make a call, 1 minute call, he also paid $6. One guy from Lagos went and asked, and he gave. This guy was on and on and on for 2 hours. He was talking to somebody. And he went to Great Satan and paid only $1. And Great Satan got it with a great smile. The other 2 guys fought with the Great Satan. He said, we spoke for only 1 minute each and you collected $6 each. And this guy spoke for nearly 2 hours, you collected only $1. It's unfair. He said, hell to hell, local. When you make a call from hell to hell, I'm sure you will appreciate it. You know the magnitude of the problem there. One guy sitting in that city, known for highest rate of crime, living in a slum, you know, near the Babendra Bridge. I visited him, Babendra Bridge. He is living there. He is fabricating rubber-based, non-automotive component for Boeing. He is participating in the global value chain. So if we have enhanced adaptive capabilities and skills to turn out the products, a tiny part of a big product produced by a transnational corporation with a high degree of precision, complying with international standards and quality control norms, you participate in the global value chain. If everybody, opportunities are plenty, even today's opportunity, you know, in life each challenge is an opportunity. This is what I learned. Our personal response to convert challenges into opportunities and opportunities into sustainable sources of wealth creation for us and for our family is a discovery process. We should enable our children to discover the process through enhanced adaptive capabilities and skills. If this type of thing, what is happening, another gentleman from Togo, you can Google that. You can Google that gentleman from Togo. He has invented a 3D printer using the e-waste. And he claimed that his 3D printer would send messages to Mars, and those messages will make a 3D printer there using the material. People could not comprehend it. Then European Space Research Center invited him to come and demonstrate. He systematically demonstrated, and they gave him 1.4 million. You can Google that. At one point, I want you to listen to this particular story. One point in my career, I was posted in Sudan as a UNIDO country director with a diplomatic rank, with ambassador rank. I landed there. Then I attended the first country team meetings, attended by all the heads of UN agencies, FAO, UNICEF, all agencies, around 12 agencies came. I felt enormously incompetent to participate in the country team meeting. Our mandate from United Nations Industrial Development is to foster economically efficient, ecologically friendly, and socially desirable pattern of development. Industrial development is our mandate. I was posted in a country which faced 21 years of war, 2 million people killed, and 4 million stranded as internally displaced persons. In a country like that, the donors have only 3 priorities: humanitarian, and humanitarian. And every day, all the agencies were airlifting genetically modified American wheat and dropping them in pockets of starvation. That is not our mandate. I felt, you know what I said? I wrote to my Director General, and also wrote to the representative, I mean, technical counterpart, Ministry of Industry, saying that I feel enormously incompetent to make interventions befitting our mandate. We are not relevant here. I cannot raise a single dollar for our mandate. Leave me in peace for 6 months. I will come out with a program, and if it fails, dismiss me. I wrote to them. DG allowed me, counterpart allowed me. I went to a remote area called Niva Mountain region, where the fighting factions maintained durable peace for 3 consecutive years. They were asking for peace dividend from the donors and the international organizations. Then I just gave a small piece of paper, asked the boys and girls who came back to the areas of origin or choice to indicate their priorities. All of them, except few, said we want to own a piece of land. Priority number one. That's very easy. In African countries, the village head decides. You take 2 acres of land, 3 acres of, village head. In fact, one mountain is called Mount Arachi. They call me Arachi in the UN. Mount Arachi, as a mark of respect for. And children are given my name, Arachi, newborn children are given my name. So land distribution is very easy actually. So each one, we wanted a piece of land. Then we want international organizations to help us to cultivate the land, increase agricultural productivity, reduce post-harvest losses, and get into some type of semi-processing for further processing. I captured a niche from there. Oh, there is something relevant for us. So I came out with a program called Humanitarian Plus, because in a country like this, if you don't use the word humanitarian, you are out, completely out. I called it Humanitarian Plus to make the long story short. We eradicated poverty in 147 villages through our intervention. Very simple thing. We fabricated improved versions of their traditional tools, which increased agricultural productivity, and it was all done by animal traction. First we used donkeys, then they complained. There were so many complaints about the donkeys. In one of the monthly meetings I used to hold, the local people would translate. One guy said, "Sir, we have a terrible problem with the donkeys. They understand quickly, and they are quick in understanding and quicker in forgetting. We cannot train them." Then we started using buffaloes. See, primitive means we did not opt for sophisticated technology, which enabled us to eradicate poverty in 147 villages. For 4 years, nobody wanted to look at me. Believe me. I even converted a haunted house. I saw a huge bungalow, building, haunted building. Nobody wanted to go there. I asked them, it belongs to whom? They said, Ministry of Agriculture. I went to the Minister of Agriculture and asked me to give it to me. He said, don't go near that, you will die. The house is full of, I said, don't go. He said, you give it to me. He gave it to me. I spent $18,000 project fund. Converted it into our typical PWD guest house. Our PWD guest houses are with the yellow wall and green and windows and I wanted to, and I took the police uniform for the security guards. I wanted to create. Then solar-induced electricity supply, and also a big hall was there where I kept a TV. Anybody could come and go, and unlimited quantity of tea, coffee. They are very hospitable people, and peanuts. They loved it. And after 4 years, and when they heard of the impact and compact of the project from the target beneficiaries, World Bank sent a team of 7 consultants came. They were all accommodated in the same house, in the guest house I created. And they came out with a report. It is available, you can Google this. Community-based development project in Sudan, lessons learned. Madam, you are an economist, so you should really go and do it. Just to Google, World Bank and community-based development projects in Sudan, lessons learned. You know what they said? I got only $1.4 million first from the Japanese contribution to UN Trust Fund for Human Security. Fortunately, the Japanese ambassador understood me. I said, sir, unavailability and lack of access to food is one form of human insecurity. He appreciated that. He released that money. With that we started. And the World Bank in that report says, what UNIDO does is the best model for post-conflict recovery and development in terms of sensitization, target beneficiaries, local empowerment, tangible impact and sustainability. Once the World Bank report was out, European Union gave UNIDO $13 million to replicate the same in other parts. Today, our organization UNIDO is rolling with $38 million to replicate the same thing because it was. Now, what I am saying is, we could eradicate poverty because of policy intervention. I believe in that. So what I did was, I coined a program. I will take only 2 minutes. I want you people to know. That's why I'm saying. I coined a program called the Program in Industry, Science, Technology, and the Innovation Policy Management for Civil Servants. First, they should know, because I copied the World Bank program. World Bank is organizing program in economic policy management. They train IAS officers, particularly IAS officers, hailing from developing countries, administrative officers hailing from developing countries with a lot of money, air ticket, business class ticket, per diem, etc. It's a big attraction, everybody wants. I copied the same program. I wanted to do it for industrial policy because I very strongly believe policy matters, implementation of policy matters. So I called it Program in Industry, Science, Technology, and Innovation Policy Management. It was a very successful program in Africa. Everybody wanted it. All the civil servants were educated, and they started coining innovative policy interventions to rekindle new and dynamic sources of growth. I wanted to do it in India. Started in our own state. Fortunately, my friend Mr. Vishnu Venugopal, who was in charge of the port here, and now then he became a director of human resource development. I wrote to him, say, I implemented this program. I am very keen that our civil servants should be trained. They should be. If the program is based on case studies are best practice. Case studies are like Singapore, Republic of Korea, China, Taiwan province of China. Like that, case studies drawn from many countries. It was a very successful program, and he saw the concept note, highly appreciative. He said, my God, this is good. Money was available, 95 crores or something like underutilized, not utilized for this skill development. And then Chief Secretary liked it very well. They circulated to all the top civil servants and the middle level civil servants. Not even a single person wanted that program. No response, completely subdued. It was a giant disappointment to them. So unless we make our administrative officers and decision makers, and I will not call politicians, decision makers and people who work under him, unless they are exposed to all these new developments, unless they learn from case studies of best practice, how each policy intervention can rekindle new and dynamic sources of growth, we may not be able to achieve rapid economic transformation. This is the message I would like to give under the caption Community and Development. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the great opportunity.
Thank you, speakers, for your wonderful speech and very informative. And we will give a big right hearing it. Anybody have any doubt can ask? Just for one doubt. For 1 minute.
I have only one doubt. So the US President Trump, and then he came down from that tariff, and now he is afraid of these three countries. Why?
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
When Trump demonstrated his domestic economic patriotism, this is the phrase I coined. It's called domestic economic patriotism. In terms of dramatically increased tariff, there was an exaggerated imagination about the impact. But when you look at the impact, nothing. Last year, the world economy grew by 3.3%. IMF report was just out a few days ago. IMF report, World Economic Output. It declined from 3.3 to 3.2%. Next year, it is supposed to grow by 3.1%. So the impact is meager to the extent of being negligible. Okay, then if you look at the share of trade in global GDP, no dramatic change. People are wondering. So, in spite of the vagaries of Trump, which people very difficult to understand, no one can, you cannot predict anything about it. What is the reason? Last week I was interviewed by Ambassador T.P. Srinivasan for AsiaNet. It's available on YouTube. If you put my name and T.P. Srinivasan, you will see that. And you say that no impact. And what's the reason? Why? What happened was, since Trump is not predictable, you cannot predict anything about Trump, anything. People anticipated further increase in tariff. From 100 to 200, it may go up to 1000. Say they continue to trade. This is the reason. It's because of speculation. Hitherto, empirical evidence clearly shows Trump's policy did not so far affect. One good thing is that countries are forming groupism now, regional groups like India, China, and it's already happening in Asia also, and under the leadership of Australia. They are all forming regional groups. They are trying to strengthen the regional innovation system. The ingredients of a regional innovation system may not be available in one country, but it may be available across 3 countries in a region, 5 countries. If you are able to dovetail these things, that is, one country is very knowledgeable, India, very knowledgeable, lot of skills we have. We should say that. Unfortunately, our research intensity and R&D intensity is very low because public institutions dominate. Very often, Dr. N.S. Kumar may be an exception. Sorry, sir, he may be an exception. But once a scientist joins a public institution, he is no longer a scientist. He is supervisor. But you are definitely an exception. Even after retirement, you are not tired of research. I know how much work you do. We meet almost every week. And so, you may be an exception. But in China, what happens? They give topmost priority to R&D and innovation to the private enterprise. For that, lot of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives are given. If you prove that you are very innovative, you are exempt from everything. Tax, everything. In addition to that, you get also free grant, not loan, grant. You don't have to repay. See the difference. Again, the policy intervention comes in. So, Trump's policies are so far not. From each bad thing, there is always something good stemming. What is stemming in India, China, Russia? We are trying to form some type of cooperation. It is very much on. Already, China started recruiting so many international labor because we have a lot of skilled people. We have a large pool of engineers, scientists, and they will be getting fantastic opportunities. And they pay according to international standard. Yeah. So let us look at all the good things that is happening, and I believe that from each bad thing, there will be always something good stemming. It's already stemming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request PhD Dr. Suresh Balan.
And Rotarian George Sundar to come to the stage to
My classmate.
Sir, no. So, sir, this side. Right. Okay. Anga paraya, ready? Thank you.
now I request Rotarian Past President PHF Sylvester Kayas to propose the vote of thanks. Kayas to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Indeed, I am very happy to be here to propose the word of thanks. First of all, let me thank the President and Secretary for giving me the opportunity to propose the word of thanks. So let me take the chief guest, very knowledgeable and very great scholar. The statements of the universe. So we are happy, so happy to have you as a chief guest today. For this, I need to thank Rotarian Dr. Krishna Kumar. In fact, he proposed our chief guest to be the chief guest of today's evening. When I approached our club secretary, Rotarian Muthukarpa Pillai, he informed his brother, Rotarian Krishna Kumar, for raising such a knowledgeable and informative chief guest. Sir, indeed, it is not only informative, it is interesting as well. So, you gave everything updated. All the updated information, we have much benefited, which we didn't know about that. And we started with the topic, community and economic developments. You narrated so many countries, how it is applied in each and certain countries, you report them, how it is applied in each and every country, So we are all so fortunate to have the information. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the President and Secretary, all who gathered here, I extend an appreciated thank. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And also, I thank Rotarian Ponniya for the invocation, Rotarian Tangaswamy for the four letters, Rotarian Kalarajan for the welcome address, and Rotarian Club Secretary for the minutes of the meeting, and also Rotarian Arunachal for the Rotary information. And of course, we all know about we have inducted a new member, Lord San Pito, which was proposed by our Rotarian Melvin Budas. Is here, somewhere here. He's told me that a gentleman is going to be, is very much interested to join our club. So he gave the details and everything, and the president sent a message a week ago. If there is, as usual, we are following the method. If there is any objection from any of the Rotarians, you can inform the secretary or representative. So it's accepted, and we are happy to have the new Rotarian. Thank you. And also, I would like to thank the visiting Rotarians from different clubs. Rotarian Edward from the Rotary Club of Kanyakumari. Of course, we can say he is not to visit Rotary, is our own Rotary, because he comes in all the meetings. And Rotarian Sangeeta from Rotary Club of Nagarkal Phoenix. Rotarian Maria Joas from Rotary Club of Nagarkal Heritage. Rotarian Aravind from Rotary Club of Phoenix. So we all thank Rotary Club of yes, now entered Rotarian past Assistant Governor Anthony Ross from Rotary Club of Nagarkal, elect. Thank you. And I also thank for introducing the new member. I thank the Rotarian Kumar for introducing the new member. And also thank Rotarian Arunachalam, Dr. Arunachalam for inducting the new member. And also I would like to thank two members. There is Rotarian Dr. PhD, Dr. Suresh Balan and Rotarian Sundar Vichanayagam. for honoring the chief guest. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you so much.
Now let us all for the national anthem. Let us sing together. Jana Gana